Yeah. In this session, I will explain one-to-one mapping. JPA type, we have JPA type, we have some mappings, right? Relationship mappings, one-to-one mapping, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many mappings. So I will explain this one today. I mean in this session. Okay, one-to-one, one-to-one. Okay, you come here. One-to-one mappings. One user having one address. Okay, one user doesn't have multiple addresses, but one user having only one address. Okay, suppose if you see here, this user, okay, this user having only one address. Okay, address ID is this one. Okay, guys, you see this one user having only one address. Okay, this one here address ID 1, right? This is address ID 1. It is mapping with this user, but not mapping with another user. Okay, guys, that is meaning. Okay, this is the database ID, name, address ID, and address. This is the database table name, and this is the script I already have. I will give this script. Okay, and yeah, this is the cascade type. I will explain later this one. And this is the entity classes and address classes. Now we have the two, right? One is user entity and another one is address entity. Okay, let's go to write a code. Okay, before that we need Spring initializer, right? So what you can do, you go to the Spring initializer and come here. Okay, and change this one. That's your choice. You can give any group ID, whatever. Okay, that's your choice. Project name JPA mapping example or whatever. Okay, you can give. This is fine, and up to here this is enough. And dependencies, we know, right? Suppose if you want to insert the data, we need the database, right? So I'm taking MySQL database, and JPA also we need, right? Yes, JPA also. For web also we need, because we are hitting from Postman, the web related libraries we need. So these three I have added as a dependency. Just explore this one. You come here, you see, yeah, starter dependency, JPA dependency, and web and MySQL. Three dependencies we have. Okay, guys, now you can download and you can import into in your IDE. I am using this IntelliJ, so you can use this one. So I already downloaded here. I have downloaded and opened into the IntelliJ. Guys, you see here what are the dependencies I have? The same, these three dependencies I have. One is starter, JPA starter, and web starter, and MySQL. Okay, guys, now application properties, no, nothing it is there. Go to the main starter class. This is once we download, it will come like this, empty. Okay, now we need to connect the database, right? In the last session I already explained these things, how to connect the database and JPA, right? So just I'm copying this one and keeping into the here. That's it. Now connection will establish. Okay, guys, now yeah, as usual we will follow the MVC pattern. First we need some packages, right? Controller and service and repository or DAO, right? So I will create the packages first, then we'll go write a classes, I mean code. Okay, this first package, first one is controller, and second one is service layer, right? Package, okay, service.impl, and third one is the repository or DAO.impl. So we are using this repository, right? JPA repositories. So just repo is enough. Okay, and we need entity, right? Yes, entity we need, user entity, and address entity we have. Suppose if you want any DTO classes, and then you can create one DTO. Sorry, let's create a new packages for DTO. Okay, DTO. Now this is ready. Okay, now first what we will do, we will create a entity classes, user entity and address entity. This is for user entity and address entity. Okay, I I already have. I will copy this. Okay, the same. This is user entity. I'm copying this. Now I'm copying here. Let me import all classes. Import class Jakarta persistence. Generator type is identity and id import. Okay, now it's imported. All right, that's fine. Okay, now you can generate setters and getters. Okay, before going to create setters and getters, let me explain. So this we already know. This id usually for giving the primary keys and generated values. So generator values, I am giving the identity because my SQL having the auto increment feature. So using the table, right? So I will do the increment, and the column name is user ID, and this one is a field name, Java field name. Okay. Similarly, this is database column name, and this is variable name. This is also the same database column name I am giving to the user table, and this is the reference column. Reference for what? Address. Okay. Now we'll go to the address. Copy. Come here and copy this. Now this is ready. Let me import all classes. Now it came, right? Yeah. Guys, you see here. Yeah. Here, the user table, we have user ID and username and address ID. 3 columns we have. Let me show you in the database. Okay. I already have the scripts. I will share you. Yeah, guys, you see here. This is the user table. Okay. This is the address table. Let me refresh all. Okay, this is user table. This is the user table. Let me delete and create new one. Okay, I do not have any tables as of now. Okay, now I'm going to create the table. Here is this. Okay, first I'm creating this address table. Okay, address table having 3 columns. AID, street and city, and second one is user table. User table having ID and username and address ID. This address ID, right? It is foreign key to this address. Okay, now you see this address ID, whatever this user table having the column, okay, which refers the address table of this column. I mean, you see here this address ID, it refers this one. That is the meaning of foreign key references. Okay, the same if you come to the here. Okay, now come here. This ID is primary key, generated value identity, because I have given here auto increment. You see, I have given this as auto increment. So MySQL itself, it will assign this ID, and user ID. As usual, user ID is the column for the user table. Okay, username is the second column, and address ID is the third column. Address ID is the third column. I will show you. Address ID is the ID column, which reference column. What is the reference column? Reference column is AID. AID for address table. Okay, come here. Now you see this is the third column, right? So now I am adding a join column, join column. So this column I am adding to the join, and reference column. What is the reference column? Address of the address table. Okay, now you go here, this AID. Okay, now you got it, right? The remaining all same. This is ID is primary key, and column is AID, and identity, generator type identity, because in MySQL itself it will create a auto increment, and these 2 columns, street and state. Okay, guys, come here. Now come here. This is the first column of user table, second column of user table, third column of user table. Okay, now I am adding the join to the third column with the reference of AID. AID is column in the address table. You see here this one. Okay, don't get confused. Okay guys, okay, now this is fine. Cascade, right? The cascade, what is meaning of cascade? Here you see guys, one to one mapping I given, one to one, which means one user having one address, one user having one address, that is the meaning of that. Okay, and cascade type all means, suppose if you insert the data into the user table, okay, address table, the child table also it will insert, that is meaning of that. Okay, let me show you this PPT. What is this one? Suppose if you cascade type, if you mention it's a all, this whatever you are doing the operations on parent table, I mean what is the parent here? User is the parent. So whatever you are doing these operations, it will impact on address table, address is the child table. Okay, now you are clear, right? Suppose if you mention all these operations, it will perform, I mean if you perform on these operations on a parent table, it will impact on child table also. Suppose if you mention as a persistent, so only this one, save child entities when parent is saved, merge, remove, refresh, this and all. Okay, now I am going to add this only all table, because I need to insert into the address table also, parent and child it should insert. Okay guys, now come here, let me generate setters and getters for this. Yes, I have created setters and getters for address table, I'm sorry, user table. Now similarly I am creating setters and getters for this table also. Okay, now fine, now entities are ready. Then what we need repository, right? Now we'll go for repo. So we'll use JPA repository. So for JPA repository, so we have two tables, right? Two entities means two tables, user and address. So similarly, user repository and address repository, we will create two interfaces. Where is this interface? Okay, user repository. Okay, which extends JPA repository. In the previous session I already explained the JPA repository, these things, so yeah, please go through the previous sessions. Okay, why user is not, it should come, it will come, maybe this is an issue, IntelliJ issue. Usually it should come because we have this repository, we have this one, right? Let it will come. Okay, meanwhile let me create one more repository, that is for address repository, repo site your repository. Okay, which extends JPA repository. Okay, address, now you see it came there. Now import. Okay, there is some IntelliJ issue, not code issue. Now it came, right? I have imported this one. Okay, now I have two repositories. I want to insert the data. For insert the data, no need to add any queries here. I can directly use the save method. I can directly call from the save method from the service layer. Okay, now repository came, repository is ready and entity is also ready. Now we'll go to the service layers. Yeah, service. Okay, now I am going to the service class. Now I am creating service class, that is user service IMPL. Okay, which implements user service. user service is not there. So what I will do, I will create a new one. The option is not coming. Wait a second, it will come. Okay, meanwhile in the service layer, which annotations we are using? Service annotations, right? Okay, IntelliJ is slow, nothing else. Okay, I am creating under service package. Okay, now you see here under service user interface, it is there. Okay, and inside IMPL this one. Okay guys, now service is also ready. Okay, now what I will do, controller also. Okay, similarly I will create a controller class. Java class user controller. Okay, what should we do? @REST controller, @REST controller. Okay, now we need to write the endpoint here, then we will go for service implementation and service annotations, and then it from service to it will go to the repository. Okay, in the repository we need to use @repository. Okay, similarly for user also. Okay guys, now it is ready. So we have two entities, right? Address and user. Okay, anyway address is auto increment, so we need to insert the name and address. So address have another class, so this is also auto increment. So what we need street and state. It should come from the request, right? I mean input. Okay, so for this what we will do, I will create one class, DTO class, user request. Okay, private. So what we need first, user, right? User we need name. Okay, private string name and private address. These two we need. Let me create setters and getters. Yes, this is the for input. Okay, so now repository is ready, user and this one, and then we'll go for service implementation class. Okay, now I am writing one method which return void return type, and what it will contain, the user request. Okay, here I will populate the values into the user and address table, address entities. User, new user dot set name, user request dot get name. Okay, so similarly I need to set the address also, address. Okay, now get address dot get street. Okay, similarly set city, get address dot get city. That's it, right? Now yeah, address is ready. So what I will do, I will set into the user object. That's it, right? Now I'm keeping into the user service. Okay, now it is ready in the user service. Let's write a code here also for controller, for endpoint. Okay, we already written, right? Let's go and copy from any controller class. The previous sessions I have explained here. So what I am doing, I am just copying this one. Okay guys, just I'm copying. So save user address. User request. So we need user service, right? Let me copy. Private user service. So what we need to write? Auto wired. Okay, so I am writing the auto wired user service. I am copying. It should come, actually it will come. Wait for some time. There is some issue with IntelliJ. Okay, now I am going here. Now going to implementation class. Okay, object is ready. We need to store in, right, using repository. So what we need user repository. Okay, now I am calling. Okay, now this is ready. Guys, come from the starting onwards. So save, this is the endpoint. Save user address is the endpoint. Okay, let me import. Now import came. Okay, so this is the endpoint. So what we are passing name and address. Okay, that this is the DTO class. And come here, it will go to this user service and we come to the user implementation. In the user implementation, so we are populating these objects. So whatever we are taking as a request, right, request as input request. So this one input, so I am setting those values into the user object. So this is user. Okay, this is user and address. From user request onwards, I am setting to address. Again, I am setting this user. Now I am storing here. Okay, if you go to the user repository, nothing I have, right, because the save method, it is available into the CRUD repository. CRUD, you see, right? This I already explained in the previous sessions. Okay, so now what I will do, I need date. Let's come here. I already written this one. Yes, this is ready. So the connection, it will establish from Spring Boot to database, and the controller is ready, service is ready, service implementation is ready, this entity class is also ready, everything is ready. Okay guys, let me start this application. Go here and right click and run the application. Okay, now Tomcat started on 8080 port number. That is the default port number. If you want, we can change that port number also in the application resources. Now come to the Postman. So what I will do, so before, right, so let me check what are the tables available. Yes, this one, it doesn't have any data, and go to the address. Okay, address also doesn't have any data. So now let me hit from the Postman. Okay, name is this one and this is the address. Yes, now it is getting success, right? Go to the database. What is the address? Address is 1 and street is something and city is Bangalore. Okay, now you go to the user table. What is the user? User is Madhusudhakar and address ID. Address ID, this is the foreign key column, which is refers to the address for the address, this column AID. Okay, now let me create one more. Go to the Postman. Okay, Ram, street is 3rd crossroad, 3rd A crossroad or something, whatever. Okay, and Hyderabad. Now you see here it is getting success and 200 is okay. Now you go there, what is the address? Address also it is inserted, address is inserted, and go to the user table, reload it, and yeah, now this is also inserted. Okay guys, come here, you wait, yeah. Now you see here, whenever you are hitting from the postman, right, you see how many tables are inserting? Two tables. One is address table and another is user table. Two tables are creating. Okay, come here in the service implementation. So what we've written, we are calling only one save method. We are calling the save method for storing the user details, but not address details, right? But address also it is inserting. How it is inserting? Okay, you go to the address table in user table. So in the user table, so what we are giving this one-to-one relationship and cascade equal to cascade type all. Okay, suppose if you mention this, whenever user is inserting, that time address also insert. User is the parent, so whenever user is inserting, parent is inserting, child class also it will insert. Okay, that is meaning of this one. So what kind of operations it will perform? This kind of operations. Let me show you. Where is this? Yeah, suppose if you mention all, right, cascade type, so whenever you are performing operations on parent class, okay, child class also it will impact. It will applicable for the child classes also. Okay guys, yeah, come here. What else to discuss? I hope you are clear this one, right? One to one mapping. Okay, one-to-one mapping is clear. Yeah, in the next upcoming session I will explain this one. Thank you, thanks for watching.